Open your book to page 194. So today's lesson is on graphing the tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant functions. So let's go over some examples. So let's go to example 1. You want to graph y is equal to 3 tangent pi x over 2. So what you want to do is you do the same thing, get your ABC, c equal to 0, and then after that you get k equal to 0, so that's kind of nice. Okay, and you get the period. Now for the tangent and cotangent, period is equal to pi over b. For the other four, the period would be 2 pi over b. Okay, again, you only take pi to get to the same slope. So pay close attention to tangent and cotangent. Okay, so in this case, period equal to pi over 2, and so period is going to be equal to 2. Okay. Then because tangent and cotangent, you only take half of the circle to get the value. So instead of finding the q, you're looking for h, half. So instead of getting the quarter, you're getting the half. Okay. So be careful with these. Again, so watch this over here. Pay close attention to tangent and cotangent. So tangent and cotangent, the period is pi over b. The other four function, period is equal to 2 pi over b. And the other four function, sine, cosine, secant, cosecant, you will get q, 1/4. Whereas tangent and cotangent, you get half, the h. So half of that is 1. Okay, and see over here, so the shift is negative c over b, but because it's 0, so shift equal to 0. So now you're going to graph that. So when you graph, so for the tangent graph, the graph is going this direction. So you can get so cotangent go the opposite direction, right? So first get the direction first. Okay. And normally tangent starts right over here. And so that would be the value for the shift. So shift is 0, so you start at 0, so you're fine. So in this case, the shift is right over here, and it's 0, so you're fine. So this is a 0. The next, you have to use the h to label. So h is 1. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and so forth. And the boundary you're looking for is negative 3 to 3. Now notice there's no equal because it's an asymptote. That's why you cannot graph anything on there. Okay. And then you have to go to negative 3. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And then you have to do the amplitude of 3, right? The a equal to 3. So you go halfway between. You go up and over. Okay. So again, this is right over here. So this is where the 3 is. You go over halfway down over. So that is where the negative 3 would be. So right over here is your negative 3. Okay. And that's how you graph the tangent graph and cotangent graph. Okay, so you can get your ABC, then get K, P, and S. Okay, the things you have to watch for is the period is pi over b, and instead of Q, you're looking for H. Again, none of things in the exact same format, so you don't get confused. Okay. Okay, let's go to match problem 1. The match problem 1, you want to graph y is equal to 2 cotangent of x over 2. So you can get your ABC. So A is equal to 2, B equal to 1/2, C equal to 0. So K is equal to 0. Period is equal to pi over b. And so period equal to 2 pi. So H, half of that is pi. And the shift is equal to negative 0 over 1/2. So shift equal to 0. So you can get all those information before we get ready to graph. Okay. So this is page 194, example 1, and this is match problem 1. Okay, so that's going to graph these. Okay, so this is a cotangent function. So cotangent going this direction. So make sure you get a nice graph. And for cotangent, your starting point is right over here. Okay, and the shift is 0, so you're good. So that's where your axis is. Now you're going to ready to label. Okay, h is pi, so that means this is 0, this is pi, 2 pi, and then write down the boundary is negative 2 pi to 2 pi. So you only label up to 2 pi, and you go, here's your 0, here's your negative pi, negative 2 pi, and that's it. And you have to do the amplitude. So halfway here, you go up over, so that's 1, and 2, because a is 2, right? So that's 2, and you go up halfway, go down over, so that's your negative 2. Okay, and that's your graph. Okay, so let's get a better graph. Okay. So that's how you do the cotangent graph. Okay. Let's go to example 2. Okay, example 2. You have y is equal to tangent pi over 2x plus pi over 4. Okay, so you can get the ABC. So A is equal to 1, B equal to pi over 2, right? That's A, that's B, and C equal to pi over 4. So A, B, C. So K equal to 0, P equal to pi over B, so period is equal to 2, so H equal to 1. Okay, then the shift is equal to negative C over B, so shift equal to, now instead of doing that, I like to do it this method. I just going to factor the pi over 2, so this will becomes minus negative 2. Double check, right? Pi 1 over 2. Right? Pi times 1 give you pi, 2 times 2 give you 4. Right? Or again, you can do this, right? So this would be, you can multiply by 4, multiply by 4. So this cancels out. So you got pi over 2 pi, give you the pi will cancel out, so it'll be 1/2 negative. Okay, so watch the positive negative. Okay, so again, get all your information before you do the graphing. Okay, so that's going to do the graph. So this is page 195, example 2. Right. So again, first you have to get your graphing. Right. So tangent goes this direction. So you need to remember what direction the graph goes and where it starts. So tangent usually starts right over here, so usually that's where it be the 0. But because you want to make it into common denominator. Okay, make it into common denominator. So H and S or Q and S should have a common denominator. Now because the shift, okay, so your starting value would be start at negative 1/2. Okay, because that's what the shift is. And you have to go by 2's. Okay, so negative 1, so this would be positive 1, this would be positive 3, and this would be negative 3, right? And so your graph, your 0 would be right over here. Okay, and then your halfway it's going to be exactly right on there already. So that means this would be your amplitude. So your amplitude would be 1. So you can erase this mark over here. Okay, so there will be 1, and you're just going to go by the same amount. So down here, this would be your -1. So you have to kind of do a step by step, think it through carefully, okay? And so your graph will look something like this. Okay. Now let's go to example 3. Example 3, graphing the cosecant. Okay, secant and cosecant are super easy. Okay. The reason for it is because you just graph sine and cosine, just flip things upside down. So let's go to page 197. Example 3. So you got y equal to 2 cosecant of pi over 2x minus pi. So you can get your ABC. So A equal to 2, B equal to pi over 2, C equal to negative pi. Alright, so you can get your A, B, C. Then get the K. And you get the period. So period is 2 pi over B. So period equal to 4. Now this, remember, sine, cosine, secant, cosecant, use the Q, right? Q means quarter, means 1/4, so you get 1. Okay. Now to get shift, again, you can do the factoring method. So factor the pi over 2. So this would be 2. Right, double check. Okay, so pi over 2 times 2 give you pi, right? Or you can use the shift equal to negative C over B. And so it cancels out. So it'd be 2 pi over pi. So it give you 2, right? So it match. Okay. So that should match. So again, the shift and the shift. So right over here, that is the shift right over here. So they should match. So once you do that, now when you graph, right, use this graph paper for the cosecant. Okay. Now cosecant came from sine, right? So you have to think about sine. So sine graph starts right over here. This would be the 2, right? Again, look at your shift. The shift is 2, and this would be 4. So this would be 1. This would be a 0. So this would be -2. Okay. So once you get that, now it's just a matter of draw your asymptote. Make sure you draw your asymptote. Let's go and get a boundary. So example 3, you want to go from -2 to 10. Okay, so that's your -1, -2. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now make sure you do the asymptotes. That's part of the graph. If you don't have asymptotes, you will lose points. Okay. Okay, and notice what I did is I lined up the ruler with this down here so I can draw the line straight up and down. Okay. And all I have to do is go ahead and do that. Just flip this upside down. Now if you want to, you can use color to kind of make it stand out. So for example, you can use this, right? This is not a very good one. Okay, let's use this one. Okay. So that way you can ignore this wavy line over here. Okay, so your graph would be the blue, including the dash line. Okay, and that's how you graph secant and cosecant. Okay, so it's very super easy to graph secant and cosecant. Okay. Okay, so let's go and do some practice.